That's a good band name.
We've got
Contextual or vagina cake?
I just thought
Anything's better than no name.
Taking fantasies, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben, and Hector's not here. He's gone away for Thanksgiving. Where did he go? Memphis. He went to Memphis, Tennessee with his family, and so we're going to be missing Hector, but he is all well and good. So what did Killbillies do this weekend? Oh yeah, okay. So we played at Das on Friday, and that was awesome. Das these days is always good. I don't know why, but it just there's a vibe going there, and there's always people walking in from the street and everything, so that's definitely one of our favorite gigs these days. And then we played at Double Roads for my and James's birthday bash, and it was cool. Loads of my friends came out, and in-laws came along, and my mother-in-law made a cake that it said happy birthday Ben and James. So now James and I have been on a cake together. I think that's quite a step in a relationship. I have to say. So we had a really good time at that. And since we're talking about cakes,
bring up that cake you were talking about earlier.
I was talking about
Thanksgiving. We're talking a little bit about Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And we have Mick and Hunter from Spread the Dove and
Hi.
Moonshiners. Yeah.
Moonshiners tonight. We got our Moonshiner hats on.
Excellent. All right, but so before we get into talking about the band, let's talk about this cake my mother-in-law made. So she got
interesting anyway.
She got a commission, right? I don't know who commissioned it, to make almost like a photoreal vagina cake. And it was just...
Do you have a picture of it?
I don't have a picture of it.
That's something you take a picture of.
So you had your cake and you can eat it too.
Yeah, right. Now the thing about the cake that was just wild about it is it wasn't just, so it was almost like a scientific drawing that had all the parts, and it also had some men's effluent on it, just spattered.
Get the fuck
and this
out
is
of
my
here.
mother-in-law who
So it
made
has some
this.
special icing on the cake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is,
Did
who
it
ate it?
I guess
have a clitoris though, because I've been trying to find one of those for years.
I guess whoever ordered the cake, I don't know why. I have no idea why they wanted the vagina cake.
That's a good start here.
Oh my god!
So if you ever need a vagina cake, come to me. I've got someone who'll make one for you.
His mother-in-law.
So all right, let's get to it.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about music.
Yeah, Hunter, you've been on before talking about Barkback, but we've never had you on to talk about your musical upbringing and how you got into music. And so how did all that happen? Were your parents supportive, and when did you start playing music?
They hate it.
They hate my music. They were super supportive of it. I'm just kidding. They love my music and anything I'm a part of. They can't make it out much. They live in the sticks. But I grew up on it, going out and doing car rides with my dad out west. We'd always go out hunting and stuff like that and do boys trips and that. Now every car ride out there, I think it was my dad had one tape in his car, and it was right when you got to that solo section and Whole Lotta Love. And Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page just lays into that riff on Whole Lotta Love. My dad would just crank down the volume, crank it up, and he's like, "If you ever do this, you really made it."
Okay, that's
I learned how to
awesome.
play it really well, and he's like, "Well, can you play anything else?" And then sparked my musical career into other things. But I got a big love of things from doing car rides with my dad and listening to classic rock.
Hell
And
yeah.
That's how I got into it.
When did you get your first guitar?
I was 12 when I first got it. I really wanted to be the next Tom DeLonge back then, but I was probably 15 when I learned how to play it.
Right.
And I really wanted nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I think at that point it was more Nirvana.
Yeah, that's about the same age I got a guitar, actually. I'd wanted one for a while, but my parents were trying to funnel me more towards the classical instruments before that. So I was piano, and then I
you grew up privileged.
I guess.
So you're rich.
And
You
then-
had a piano.
I was very lucky upbringing. Yeah.
Just kidding. We didn't have a piano, but I wish I would have learned on that. Going back in hindsight, like I hear you can translate that to anything, though, and
Yeah.
that's why you can play so many instruments. And I'm stuck with guitar.
Well, I tell you what, piano is very useful. If a parent comes in, and is like, what should my son or daughter play, and they're quite young, I almost always say, well, just start them off on piano.
Yeah,
It-
I would 100% agree on that from now on.
No.
Don't start them on guitar. Open the
Well,
possibilities.
the problem with guitar is, and I love guitar. I'm a guitarist by trade these days, but when it comes to understanding music, it's kind of opaque. For a
Yeah.
long time, especially when you're younger, it's difficult to conceptualize what the harmonies are doing and things. You just sort of learn it in terms of shapes. You know what I mean? And then on the piano, it's like literally laid out in front of you like a map. So yeah, learning on the piano is a lot easier.
I've
Yes.
had a piano for years. I still can't play the damn thing.
Well,
I've heard you play. You're pretty good.
you can tune a fish, but you can't tune his piano. But back to that, though. I mean, I think you get pigeonholed when you learn guitar first. I highly recommend the piano because you can translate it to anything, transpose it to anything.
Yeah.
From what I hear. I don't know if
yeah.
I'm using the right words. but-
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It's a good instrument to learn first. I would suggest it too.
Guitar was like you literally learned how to be a parrot. You're like, I want to play exactly how these people do. Piano is like you learn the fundamentals of everything that goes around music.
No, totally.
I didn't
man.
learn that till I was older. Stay in school, kids.
So it was guitar that was your first instrument. Then,
It
was
was.
it?
And my
then
last.
Did you ever do anything like? Did you ever do any stuff in school? Like, were you ever part of any school stuff? Like, like bands in school and stuff.
Not until college. I unfortunately
You went to college? You didn't go to college.
Hang on a minute.
I went for 8 years for 4 different things, but didn't finish one of them.
You
Excellent.
only had to go to college
I
for 8 years and
started.
not even come out with a
Let's
degree.
go back to middle school. I started in a very strict Catholic school, and music was the Antichrist, and we had more chapel than anything.
Oh, yeah.
So unfortunately, I never learned how fundamental music was to everybody's well-being. But it's just if you would learn those things at a young age, like how you can speak to so many different musicians on a different level by knowing all the background of it, then I would have known more. But once I
Yeah.
got to college and I started taking jazz classes because it was an easy A.
Oh, you
drugs.
did jazz classes.
I did. Don't tell anybody and spread the dub that I did, because they're going to challenge me.
It's going to be on the internet. Everybody's going to see it.
But once you play with jazz musicians, you realize what you learned in jazz school at community college isn't much. But
Yeah, for real.
I learned timing. I learned how to break down music, and I wish I'd known those things at a younger age. And I wish
Yeah.
it was more of a core curriculum in school. In class.
It should be. And the more I speak to, I don't know a huge amount about the public school system in this country. I've worked at like private music schools this whole time, but just through speaking to other people, everyone's saying the funding's just dropping out more and more. It's really it's not doing that great music in schools these
They're
days.
prisons for kids.
Well, I mean, if they would have told me then, I hated math. I was the worst math student there ever was. I think I dropped out of college because of math. You had to take it. But if they told me then that there's so much math in music, I would have paid a lot more attention in math, because how you break music apart is by math and numbers. And it's just like, shit. they didn't appeal to me on my level then, but
That's also why we play reggae and country. We can
Oh,
only
yeah,
count to
1, 2,
4. That's all we got.
again, that's why we translate
That's all
so
we
well
got.
from reggae to country.
So Mick, years ago we did this part of the podcast, but it was one of our first ones, and I reckon it bears repeating. How did you find yourself getting into music and stuff?
Well, my dad, it was kind of the same. I would ride around in the car, but he was just a big Linda Ronstadt and Barry Manilow fan.
Yeah.
No, actually, I got into music, my dad and my mom. My mom would play reggae stuff in the car, and that was where I found like Bob Marley. And when I was like 5 or 6, I remember riding around in the little Honda Civic
Yeah, my mum did the same thing.
On
She was
tape.
into Bob Marley too. Yeah.
on tape. She had Legend on tape, and blast that shit everywhere.
Legends,
And then
yeah.
my dad would, the stereotypical dad shit, man. I mean, it was Led Zeppelin, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix.
Did he do the Dire Straits thing? Is that 80s dad?
No, he was. Yeah, no. He
What, the
didn't.
I Want My MTV song?
Yeah, my dad, my mum and dad, but they were like Eurythmics and Dire Straits. They
Oh
were
shit! No,
kind
that
of
would
like
have been nice.
Luckily, I found Bob through like our Bahamas trips, and they were all playing Legends and stuff back in the day through there.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. You know, that's one of the people. Bob Marley he's like the Beatles. It's just ubiquitous. It's almost like someone asked me if I was a Bob Marley fan, if I liked Bob Marley, and I was like, well, I don't even know at this point. It's just like a part of who I am. You know?
Yeah.
It's gone so far beyond being a fan of him.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's what taught me reggae. And then I remember like starting it out, like we were all into punk back in the days in the 90s. Like punk was a big thing. Ska was a big thing because ska got introduced probably to the States through Bob Marley and stuff like that from their earlier roots. Ska before reggae. Look it up, kids.
Yeah.
But that's how I got into the mix. And just local bands around here and the reggae scene and stuff with Box Elder and stuff back then. And that's
nice.
where I was like, oh, you grew up on hard rock and stuff, but like you really had to like, you're living in South Florida. There was a lot of reggae bands going on and you knew that background from the early Bob Marley stuff.
Yeah.
And then local bands doing their take on it.
Yeah.
And then we all got Sublime, and then we all got Slightly Stupid, unfortunately. And I'm just kidding.
No, Sublime definitely though. I remember our drummer actually Ryan. I used to go to middle school with him back in the day. We used to ride the bus together.
Yeah.
So one of my earliest memories of like really digging some music was 40 Ounces of Freedom on that little portable CD players. You know,
Yeah.
you hit a bump and it would
I had
skip.
the
from
gold
there.
album.
Me and him would listen to that shit in the back of the bus and sing the song super loud.
Yeah,
and
man.
Bother everybody else in the back of the bus. But that was like the first like, oh yeah, this shit is fucking dope, man. Like
Yeah.
I wanna play this. Like I've always had that dream of like standing on stage playing that kind of music and watching a crowd dance to it. That was like my goal, you know, for a long time.
I remember that there was a summer that was just the Sublime summer. It was,
Yeah.
for me, I think it was like the summer of like 94, I think, or 5.
I remember too, it was like right was in high school, but it was literally when he's talking about Ryan, our drummer now. I
Yeah.
used to go, my first shows in the area, in the scene, we're going to see Cerveza back in the day, which is Ryan Cross's, our drummer's old band.
Yeah.
And Nick Carrazas was in the band, and
Okay.
a couple other, Kevin Kapanik was in that band too. But
Holy
we
shit,
were-
really?
We were watching ska bands
damn.
playing gymnasiums, and I remember buying my first like 5 nug for like $50.
Yeah.
Sitting in a parking lot in a gymnasium.
Holy shit.
Oh my God,
And
do you
just
remember
being
those?
like, what is this fast reggae stuff? This is
Oh.
cool.
I remember watching them. Remember the old Palace, the skate rink that was over there
Yeah.
on Lantana and
Yeah.
Congress? That's where I saw them play for the first time, and I was like, "Yo, this is sick.
Oh, they play anywhere.
Yeah.
And so will we these days.
skate rink." Yeah,
Yeah, I found out about ska from. I mean, I knew it was obviously Sublime and stuff, but then that was just part of the milieu of kind of like popular alternative stuff that I listened to when I was a teenager. But then, and I always liked those huge punk bands, you know, Green Day and Rancid and
Whoa,
stuff
how
like
about
that.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater doing
That
Superman?
too, yeah. But then when I met, it was when I
Dude,
met
yeah.
Barney Boom from Sonic Boom 6 that he really showed me the like he just plugged me into that vein of like American ska, you know.
Yeah.
And I already knew about, you know, Two Tone and everything because it's from
You're
England.
lucky you
but-
grew up on that first. I
Yeah.
got that second.
Yeah.
So I got Third Wave first, and then Two Tone was next for me.
Yeah, it wasn't that I didn't know it existed, that all of the ska that was over here. It's just that I didn't have the right ears for it. I didn't go to like a proper rock show till I was like, I went to big ones, like festival-y type ones, but I didn't go to a proper like small rock show till I was like 18, I think, 17,
Really?
18.
What was your first show?
My first show was Radiohead, but that was one of these big ones.
A lot cooler than mine.
And
what
what's
was
your-
yours?
In Sync.
No way. Your shit was
Swear to
insane.
God, Lance didn't even make it. He had a health issue
Oh
or
my
something like
God.
that. Everybody was upset about it. But-
What
Did
was-
you,
what
was
was
it
your
you that
first?
wanted to go to that?
Oh, I went for a chick. It was my first date. I was 12. No, I was 6.
No, that was a hell of a first date. Take her to NSYNC.
Just kidding. My mom took me with her friend, and that was the daughter my mom always wanted.
What was your first show, mate?
James Brown.
God damn it.
James Brown was my first show at the Delray Tennis Center.
Wow.
I was, I think, 9 or 10. But I remember that. That's like one of the few I've seen thousands of shows, and that's
Sure.
like the only one
Not including
that I could. Yeah, not well, and mostly ours. That's the one I could like remember everything about that show. It was incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. That James Brown.
James Brown,
That's the
good.
best answer to that. What was it? What was the first? What was the first record that you bought with your own money, like tape or CD? Or?
Dookie.
Yeah. Okay. So mine was Use Your Illusion 1, I think. What was
Okay.
it?
I don't even know what that is.
My brother's was Guns N' Roses, and then my brother's was Bad by Michael Jackson.
Oh well, that's damn.
Yeah, you know,
That's a
I mean,
good
it's a
one.
shame about everything, but you know, yeah, it is a killer album.
Hey,
though.
Say
Mine
what
was
you
the
want.
Marshall Mathers LP, so.
Oh, there you go.
Damn, that's a good one. I remember buying Dookie.
My mom
and-
bought me Offspring. That was a cooler one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Americana, that was a good one.
I bought Dookie, and my mom took it away immediately after she read the liner notes.
Oh, really?
She was wondering, like, look
Dude-
at the lyrics.
Dookie came out, I think. Yeah, because I think my first tape was I was like I guess 9 or something like that, and Dookie came out quite a lot after that. But I did buy that too. I bought that on CD. Yeah.
I will say my first tape, though, coolest story ever. Way cooler than...
In Sync, better be.
No. So I'm riding down the streets, and somebody's throwing away all their shit, and I find a box, a trash score. And I look through the box, some Guns N' Roses, things like that. But I find Nirvana's Nevermind. And it was the first cassette I had ever had. And I plug it in. I was like, first time I'd ever heard Smell Like Teen Spirit. And I was like, what is this? So it was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like finding a tape in the trash and then plugging it into your own boombox back in the day and like listening to this and being blown away. I'd never heard them on the radio. Never heard of anywhere than that. And it's
Oh
just
my
like,
God! Talk about boomboxes, right? I had to go. I had to go.
We
through
got good stories about that one.
Yeah, I had to go through that absolute nightmare trying to find a boombox for the video I was making.
Hard to come by.
So-
you should have looked in the trash.
Last week, James's brother sends me this sends me this message, and it just goes, "I don't suppose you're looking for a boombox, do you? This is like a 1980s, like perfect condition, like spectacular boombox." Of course, it happens like a month after I need it.
If you weren't so quick to get music videos out, you would have.
Yeah, do it like us. Wait 10 years.
That's funny. So yeah, in case you haven't heard about it, all of us 3 guys are on a project that I'm putting together called Nina's Yard Party, which is like it's just a ska collab album with anyone I could persuade to be on it. Really, like all my ska friends.
Didn't take much persuasion, but it sounds really good.
Nice one, man.
Everything
Yeah.
I've heard so far, and then it's based around the dog.
Exactly. I couldn't help feeling a little bit fraudulent. Like it didn't occur to me, but then as soon as I made the logo, I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of like.
We'll do anything that involves dogs.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Sold us.
Yeah, man. Why don't we talk a little bit about Barkback? How did Barkback go this year?
Well,
Dude, it was incredible. It was our best year yet. It was
Fantastic.
awesome.
see that every year, and
It was
it's
awesome.
the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't go over how much we raised anymore because it just keeps getting better and better. And
Excellent.
We hate to brag, but we
Yeah, we don't want to be braggarts.
You hate to
we,
brag.
but
you
we
hate
don't
to
want to brag
boast.
about how
We're
much
doing
money
a-
we raised to save homeless dogs. anymore.
We're doing really good with that, and we got 15 dogs adopted.
Yeah.
16.
16?
We will brag about that. 16 dogs were
16
adopted
dogs
this year.
adopted
That's
this year.
a lot of dogs.
That's a lot of dogs that
It's a
aren't
lot
in the
of
shelter
dogs.
anymore.
I have a
and
hard enough time with one, but
Yeah.
16 of them found new
16
homes this
dogs.
year.
Every dog,
Not
pretty much.
that day at the event, but throughout the year, we continuously do work to find dogs homes.
Every
Yeah,
day
man.
we're trying to, that we get messages all the time from people. It's not just like a one-day event. We're at it all year. You know?
Yeah, that
I'm
day,
really
I think
like.
we had 10.
I
All the
love
dogs
what
there.
you do with that, and I've always been super impressed by it. To the point where I got a tattoo of it.
Yeah,
Barkback
we all
is dope,
did, man.
Yeah, you got yours on this
yeah.
arm.
Oh, wait.
Mine-
How'd you know that? I didn't even know
Mine's
that.
on my leg.
I know where everybody's is.
We all got one.
He's got his on his leg. Put your
What you like about your
pull that
head?
game
It's
up
not
here
that
on
hard.
the table.
I can't do it. I'm too old.
I guess I'm wearing such tight jeans. I stopped doing that years ago.
Yeah. Everyone tells me that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to start listening to it. Oh, you remember that meme with
I
the
just grew out
dog
of 'em.
standing up and it had like the really, really skinny jeans on it?
Oh yeah.
that's-
Anybody after 30 wearing skinny jeans?
I just got married. Somebody started feeding me, and I just had to get rid of them all. But no, I mean anything throughout the year we can do to help dogs. I mean everybody's got their give back and their way to give back to the community. Like you do so much through the live music community and stuff like that. It's just like you got that covered. You're taking care of the kids, and you're getting
taking
the
care of
next,
the humans.
You're
We'll
getting
take
the
the
next
dogs.
generation of rock stars, and you're building
Yeah.
them bigger and stronger than we've ever been.
Yeah.
But our thing is dogs. You know,
Yeah, man.
They like us. Kids like you, dogs like us.
No, respect. I think you're doing a wonderful thing with all of that.
Thank you.
And yeah, like playing it's always fun because you get to like see the I don't know. It's just a fun day to be a part of because it's got good energy.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's good energy all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. So all right, let's talk about Moonshiners. How did the band come about?
Well, we were doing duos sometimes when we were heavy playing spread shows. We would play. Kevin and I would do a duo every once in a while, where we do a trio, and we started like jokingly putting in country songs into our acoustic reggae sets.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause it just-
I kind of remember that period.
Yeah,
Well,
because
they were like we were doing. I'd be there for them sometimes, but we were doing Bradley's for the Monday Night Reggae, which is a great thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
But it was doing so good that the venue gets, they're like, oh, if you can do this on a Monday, let's see what you can do on a Sunday. So
Yeah.
they had you guys on Sunday
Yeah.
too, and then it came to the point where it's
Okay.
like,
it was too much. It was
we don't want to
oversaturated.
do the same thing Sunday as we do Monday. So then you're like, well, hey, I got some country songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started putting in some country stuff, and then we're like, well, you know what, this sounds pretty good, man. I mean, like, why don't we just like try to actually do this shit for real?
It just
And-
kind of clicked one day. It's like, oh, your parents made you listen to old country too? All
Yeah,
right.
perfect.
How do I know how to play this? And it's just like,
start doing Johnny Cash songs and like older country stuff that
it's all rooted
nobody
in
really
the same
wants to
things.
hear.
It
Yeah.
all comes from the blues. It all comes from, times of struggle, whether it was in Jamaica, whether it was in Memphis.
Yeah.
It's just like people all relate on that scale of music, and the timing might be different.
Yeah.
The rhythm might be different, but it's all based around the same structure. So we never really had an official rehearsal for the band, but we all knew
no.
the songs.
Yeah.
And I mean, basically, we're from Florida, so it's like the perfect mix of country and
Yeah.
island,
Or a little bit country,
you know,
or a little bit
vibe.
reggae rock.
Yeah, but luckily you guys have got that kind of punk edge too, which stops it from being like Jimmy Buffett, you know?
Yeah. No offense to Jimmy Buffett fans.
No,
I mean,
God rest
we,
his
lo-
soul.
we love Jimmy Buffett. We love
Jesus,
Jimmy.
man, you're not from here, man.
Yeah, you're trying to get a shot out here.
Oh, God.
We're playing Key West this weekend.
Oh, God. I had the green pair, but they don't like him that much.
No, don't get me wrong. I think Jimmy Buffett was a wonderful man, and and he's like the patron saint of Florida. And
Yeah.
I've certainly got no.
I know what
nothing
you're
against
trying
him.
to say. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, it's like that cheesy element,
Yeah,
to it.
exactly.
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But no,
he's not cheesy.
but that's where like it's a hard line to try to find where you don't cut into the cheese playing around here. It's,
Yeah.
it's
Poolside,
like
we call it poolside.
Okay.
we try to avoid the pool.
Yeah, we try to avoid it.
Yeah.
But it's just
I get
like
it.
we've always grown up in the roots of things.
Yeah.
Like the roots of country, the roots of reggae.
Yeah.
We're not trying to play the stuff that's been the
We hate top
Americanized-
40 anything.
It's
Yeah.
true because we
Usually.
don't know how to play it.
I can't stand it. Yeah.
But we try to not be the typical
The Jason
like,
Aldeans or whatever the hell,
Yeah.
all that
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't try that in a small town.
No.
But anyways,
I see what you did.
but anyways, it's just like you try to go against the mold and like show people where it all started. People forget where the roots of things came from.
Yeah.
Things get so polished and so composed, and it's just like it's so once the record companies get involved, you lose the soul of where
Yeah.
the music came from with every kind of genre.
Plus, we're also doing like our own bastardized version of these songs. Like if we're doing,
right, and most of the people that wrote these songs were probably bastards because
Yeah,
they
well,
came from soul.
yeah, it's true. Like we do a thing like we did this with Spread for a long time. Is like, we'd say we want to do a cover. Like we did a Radiohead song. We did things earlier on back in the day, And like instead of like sitting down and listening to the song and really learning how to play it, like listening to it and going, all right, this part goes here, this is what he's saying, and this in this verse, all that shit, we just like
jammed it out.
kind of just did it from memory.
Yeah.
And then that's what we put out there, like Wicked Games.
Yeah.
Like that song has another 2 verses in it. Like the way we recorded it is,
Which, by the way, is really awesome. I
Thank
listened
you.
to that like quite a lot.
The
I
Expendables
listened
just
to
did
that
it.
quite a lot.
I
Yeah,
saw.
it's our biggest hit.
It's our biggest hit, and
Yeah.
it is just the wrong version of that. I think that's why we haven't gotten hit by.
Well,
copyright
that's why
on
some
it.
people get hired for parts just because of their broken English. So
Yeah, yeah. It's part. Yeah, yeah.
we're the broken English of every music we've tried to do.
You know the just a real quick side thing. There was the Manchester rap crew called Broken English, which I always thought was a real.
Is that a
funny
band name?
Yeah. Isn't that sick? Anyway,
pretty
but
good.
Oh, that's sick. They're broken English.
yeah, they were really good. But
broke
yeah,
sticky.
it's quite a similar thing to what Killbillies do with the songs. It's like we'll take we'll take just the melody and like the chords and then make it our own. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, we do that all the time. The James, the banjo player in the band, there's some songs that he only knows from my version. So
Oh,
he
yeah?
has never heard the original.
we got those too.
Working with the
Yeah,
Moonshiners. It's
yeah.
that, but like it's cool when people hear it that way because like you're never gonna get the same thing twice. Like,
No.
if you saw me do 3 takes of that song tonight, I don't play the same thing 3 times, and that's an original.
yeah.
And it's also like when we play live and stuff because we don't really we don't practice at all. We never practice in either band.
Weird
But-
brag, but we're
yeah.
flex. Okay.
But like we will like, and there's nobody. You know, we all kind of know what we're supposed to be playing, but there's no like somebody going, no, you can't play that. You got to play it this way.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of lends their own flavor from all their own different backgrounds. Like he's like punk and grunge and surf, and he's got that lead guitar. You'll hear it when we're playing those songs live. And I got a little bit of that country, rockabilly, that kind of shit.
Well, James Brown did.
James,
Oh,
James Brown.
If I had
So
to,
all
like,
of that
pinpoint
shit,
your style to
when
it.
you're not like holding people back in the band from, you got
we got
a
jazz
vision.
cats in the mix. Too.
Yeah, the horn players are jazz guys, and like
Yeah.
they'll put their flavor in, but it's all that's how it's like a mixture of everything.
What would you say Ryan's flavor is?
God.
Pink Starburst.
Oh,
Starburst. The one nobody likes.
completely derailed my thought
we-
process.
We grew up on the same shit. He's in my Blink-182 tribute. Shout out Pop Disasters.
Pop Disasters, yeah.
But we grew up loving pop punk in some sense. He gets a little further into the pop punk than I do. But
Right.
he's a romantic. Don't let him fool you. He's just a diehard romantic. He loves his love songs.
Yeah,
And
fair enough.
that's Ryan Krauss.
His flavor is rosé and weed.
Ladies, it's
what
not
it is.
available.
No, he's having a kid.
Weed.
He's having a kid.
By Ryan Krauss.
Rosé
Rosé
and
and
weed. I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I shot his
That's
gender reveal.
amazing. Well, congratulations, guys.
Yeah, congrats.
Fantastic.
Congrats.
We're having a spread baby. We're having an STD baby, everybody.
I'm sure Virginia's gonna love that.
There's so many people.
We're having an STD baby by a hooker.
That's her last,
last
name.
name.
Her last name is Hooker. Man, they're gonna fucking kill you when they see this. They're gonna kill you.
I'm just pulling
That's
out
just
the
going to be the
facts.
one bit that we cut out. I'm going to use that for everything. No,
That's
kidding.
No,
gonna be
vagina-
when you
vagina
go
cake
back to
stays
it, like
in.
the word of the week or the advice for the week.
I'm just gonna toggle between me not being nice about Jimmy Buffett and that.
Yeah.
Go back and forth.
Everybody
about it.
else's
it all in.
podcast has
Leave
been
it
like,
all.
"What's the advice of the week?" Like, don't quit. Give it everything you got. And STD is just like, we just had an STD hooker, baby.
Stay in school. Don't pick
STD
up an
baby
instrument.
hooker. Anyways,
Oh my god.
So, you with Moonshiners, do you with Moonshiners? Oh dear, this is funny.
All right.
Yeah. With Moonshiners, do you write music?
We
do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, cool.
We occasionally do.
We live the music. It hasn't been written yet.
Yeah, we
But,
got ideas, but no, we have a couple originals. But we also like he was saying earlier, is we learned that the spread songs can easily be translated in a country, and they're whole new songs, and
Yeah.
it breathes a little bit of new life in them because we got 3 albums out with
So
spread.
that's
Yeah.
our next project. It's in the talks.
So-
It's in the works. Is we've done Coming Home Drunk album by Spread. So
Yeah.
now we're going to do Coming Home Country. And we're going to translate most of those songs that can be translated.
Like
And-
Dub Side of the Moon, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But we're going to try to do that next. And then, like, you know, even while we're just jamming here for a second, the first time you get us in the studio, we're going to start making magic.
Yeah.
So.
We actually
Yeah.
have scheduled for the very first time a writing session coming up
That's
with just the
exciting.
three of us, I think. Me,
Oh,
Hunter.
shit, I did that. I got to look that
You
up.
did that.
When
We did
was
that when we were a little drunk at the bar. But
Well, that's how the songs get written.
Hunter, Kevin, and myself will be in the studio doing a little writing session coming up soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
No, but that's the thing, man. It's like you get caught up. So I mean, you're the busiest guy I know. Like when you get caught up in life,
Yeah, dude. Gigging life, and you're
gigging
freshly
sucks
married.
out your creativity
you know?
and how much time you get to put into that. And it's like sometimes at the end of a week when you've gigged 4 days, it's just like you just want to get home and do nothing but not even think about music.
No, totally, man. It can be a bit of a creative suck. When we went away on tour, that was the most creative the band's been for the longest time because we had like days, you know. Like,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah,
And you're stuck
your
together.
down days. That's when
Yeah,
we last
yeah.
time we wrote. Last time we went up
Yeah.
to Carolinas and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Beautiful place to write.
Yeah, we wrote like 4 songs, you know,
That's
and
awesome.
now it's like finding the time to practice them to get them
Yeah,
finished.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it can be tough. But, you know, seeing as we're talking about Moonshiners songs and Spread the Dub songs done in the style of Moonshiners, why don't we have you guys play some tunes for us?
Absolutely.
We'd love to.
Let's
Right.
see if we can do a spin on it.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remember what I did last night? Did I get drunk and start a fight with you, babe? Did I take it there? Well, I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care. I stopped drinking, baby, for you. First I gotta find my other shoe, 'cause I'm stumbling all over your floor. Well, I'm sorry, I won't be drinking no more. Maybe one more before I go. For old time's sake, don't you know? 'Cause old habits, baby, die hard. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wreck your car. Stop drinking, baby, for you. But first I gotta find my other shoe, 'cause I'm stumbling all over your floor. Well, I'm sorry, I won't be drinking no more. Or maybe one more before I go. For old time's sake, don't you know? 'Cause old habits, baby, die hard. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wreck your car. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wreck your car. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wreck your. You wanted me to stop being so rude. You wanted me to close my mouth when I chew. You wanted me to be a preppy Palm Beacher, but we hang out at Lake Worth Pier, yeah. But I won't try to be, no, I won't shed a tear, 'cause I won't miss you, baby. I've got no time to be your man. You wanted me to stop all this skanking. You wanted me to stop eating bacon. You wanted me to be a preppy Palm Beacher. But we hang out at Lake Worth Pier, yeah. But I won't try to be, no, I won't shed a tear, 'cause I won't miss you, babe. I've got no time to be your man. You don't like the clothes I wear, or the grease I put in my hair. You wanted me to be a preppy Palm Beacher, but we hang out at Lake Worth Pier, yeah. But I won't try to be, no, I won't shed a tear, 'cause I won't miss you, babe. I've got no time to be your man.
Hi, this is Ben from 561 Music. We are a local music podcast that is completely designed to promote and shed light on local music. And if you would like to be a part of that, we're looking for sponsors. So you could have your ads in the episode and in all the show notes, and we will read you bespoke ads, or you can write your own ads yourselves. If you want to find us, you can find us at 561 Music Podcast on the socials, or www.561music.com. We'd love it if you got in touch. Thanks a lot.
561 Music is happy to announce our partnership with the 3rd annual Punk Rock Flea Market to hit Fort Pierce. Starting at noon on December 2nd, don't miss the event that's packed with a variety of independent vendors, artists, unique small businesses, and awesome food and drink, all at a family-friendly event. Featuring music by Dial Drive, FWA, The Problem Addicts, Human Error, Colorblind Dinosaur and Constant Throw. Hosted at Tipsy Tiki, this local outdoor venue has undergone a makeover with the same owners as Fort Pierce Cider Works. Bands will blow you away with some great music on their newly renovated stage. So come out and support local music.
We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Carver Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indian Town Road, and it is a carver bar. If you don't know anything about carver, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, you know, that brings people together. You all take a shell of carver and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a Carver bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of Carver bars. Some of them are more like a club, you know, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. And yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Route Carver Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. All right, so we've just been listening to an ad for Live Music Community. I think this is a good opportunity for you guys to give some advice for upcoming musicians.
Are you sure you want us to give advice to upcoming musicians? Because
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We might not be the people to do that.
Well, we can tell you what not to do.
Yeah, there you go.
What does Spread the Dub do?
Well, I'll tell you what not to do.
Don't go with any booking agents.
Yeah, don't do that. Do it for
You
yourself.
don't need booking agents.
In this day of social media, and do it for yourself.
They're leeches.
DIY, it's coming back.
You know what? I feel like the DIY these days is alive and well.
I believe so as well. I see it so much through our music scene, especially with you guys.
You don't even need record labels anymore.
There's so much support for the live music scenes and stuff like that, and it's just like people are constantly being taken advantage of by people trying to leech off of other people's talents. But everybody's capable of doing it themselves. Self-promotion, self-booking, and if people don't want to work with you because they want to work through an agent, like screw that. And it's just like,
I hear you.
You know who's paying the agent at the end of the day? Not the venue.
The band.
It's you that's paying the agent.
The band or the solo artist. I mean, there's so many places in South Florida, especially if you're a musician in South Florida, there's so many spots that not only have live music, but need live music, that you shouldn't have any shortage of
you don't need one. There's people that we work with from time to time out of convenience, but you don't need one at all. Yeah.
No, we've just had so much bad experiences with booking agents. I mean, there's a few that, are maybe working with bigger bands and stuff that we have worked with in the past that we really do actually like. But for the majority of like the bar scene and the smaller venues, the people that are working down here that are just straight booking and not promoting at all and just taking a cut off the top of your pay, there's a bunch of them. Yeah. I can name them by names, but I've already burned the bridges anyway. It doesn't really matter.
We've worked at venues that gave us an amount, and we were
Copper
doing
Blues.
well.
Yeah, Copper Blues was one. We used
they
to
got
play there.
demolished, so we could talk shit.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, they're not there anymore.
They didn't last, but look at us. We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
But anyways, it's like, don't let people take advantage of you. It's like, you are the talent. You are the person that's bringing the people. Like, connect with your community.
Yeah.
And by doing so, the reason you don't need talent agents and you don't need people working for you to put your name out there is because you need to be the one. Where's the camera? You need to be the one going to the shows. You need to be the ones sharing your bands, sharing your friends' bands, and going on your off nights and sticking around after you're done playing your set and watching everybody else.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to be the one supporting the scene because you are the scene.
Yes.
And if you want people to come after you, you need to be the one being the
I
spearhead
couldn't
of
agree
it.
more. I talk on this a lot, and it's I was talking to someone about it yesterday who their son was like, oh, I want to go to this other city because there's like a better scene and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, the scene's what you make it. If there's
Yeah.
a better scene there, it's because
Exactly.
someone's there making it a better
Yeah,
scene.
Exactly. You know what? Every town that has been like the big hub in the music industry and stuff like that, it's because somebody made it that way.
Yeah.
It wasn't always that way.
Yeah.
Nashville, LA, all those places, somebody made it that way. So
Yeah.
who's to say that South Florida can't be that way? So like
I mean, that's just my creed. I live by that
yeah,
creed.
growing
Yeah.
up, it's just like we're in the furthest part south of the longest state, and it's like nobody comes down here, nobody's tours down here. But I'm like, that's what makes you special in a way.
Yeah.
And it's like, build your little scene, your little hub here, and it's
Yep.
like the power of the internet and things
Yeah.
these days. You can get out to broader
We're-
cities and bigger, but like, you got to do your part though.
Yeah.
If you want to get to people, you have to be in the people. You got to be in the scene. You got to be in the shows. You got to be the one active in your community.
Dude, that's some of where you can think of any good advice. That's some of the best advice we've ever had on the show. I think
Nailed it.
that is true, and I love it. I really appreciate you bringing that up.
You can't expect the scene unless you build it and be part of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like that's always been our thing, and that's why, like people have been like, oh, we're one of the household names. I haven't said that, but some other people said it. But like, we've been around here forever, and people know who we are only because we haven't toured our asses off. Props to the people that are doing it, but like sometimes you have to build your base, and
Yeah.
like I'm glad to be a household name here and nowhere else because like we've been in the scene. We're creating our own music festivals. We're having all these other bands that are starting up come out and play with us and for us, and like we're helping kids get their start and stuff, just like you have, and like we've
Yeah.
can't say
Yeah,
enough
definitely.
about what you guys do in the scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like the
Yeah,
scene
man.
is what you make it. Exactly what you
Yeah,
said.
yeah, 100%. I was writing a song about it this afternoon
Yeah.
with Keith. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So
Exactly. So it's exactly what you make it. It doesn't matter where you are. It is
Yeah.
what you make of it.
No doubt about it, man. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the songs you just played us?
Oh boy,
Oh yeah, Old Habits.
Die Hard.
Yeah, Old Habits. That was a song written, years ago about a night in downtown West Palm. Actually, after a Bradley's Monday Night Reggae when we used to play Bradley's.
Okay.
That's when it's not what you make of the town, but what the town makes of you.
Yeah. Old Habits. Yeah, I did wreck a car in a parking garage that night.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Most of our songs are true stories.
Yeah, and a lot of things.
It's my favorite shows to watch on Netflix. Like this was a true story.
I'm not quite sure the statute of limitations on some of these things. We can talk about it on podcast, but no, that was most of it. They're songs, fantasy, but sprinkled with little truths.
yeah,
you know?
man.
So that was one. That was about a night in West Palm, after the bars. And yeah, same with like coming home drunk. Coming home drunk was the same shit. I got my nose broken at Bradley's at a Monday Night Reggae gig, and
Oh, man.
our drummer
Bradley's
had
can
his,
get rowdy sometimes.
It gets rowdy, and you
It
wouldn't
used
think
to,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
it used to. Yeah.
Used to. Now
I've been
it's
in
a
a
club
couple
scene.
of fights in there, weirdly.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
jumping off the stage with my guitar battle axing somebody one night. They were starting
Yeah.
to fight. Well, we don't fight here. And then here comes a guitar player like banging somebody over the head.
I got headbutted by a Samoan.
Good Lord.
Yeah, well.
I was going to ask
Good times.
what kind of crazy things have happened to you at gigs, but this is it. This is some crazy things.
This is.
We don't have enough time.
Listen to all the albums on Spotify.
Yeah,
There's all the stories that are in those albums.
But don't lose your wallet in Vegas, kids, because you will get pepper sprayed to make $100 to make it to your next tour stop.
Yeah. He lost his. He never gambled before. Our first trip in Vegas, he goes to the roulette wheel with me, and loses all of his money.
You told me to bet on black and I won. I got so excited. I ran off $50 worth of chips, left my $300 in my wallet.
Left his wallet on the table. It came back. It was gone. So he had nothing. And then he gambled the rest of his winnings away. So we had a gig that night at the dive bar in Vegas. We were on tour with the Bastard Sons. And one of them had pepper spray on them at all times.
Right.
And
I don't know if it was them or a patron.
I don't know. I can't. Well, now I can't remember. Now that you said that,
I can't see it, but
somebody bet him. He was telling his story to everybody, and somebody bet him $100 to get pepper sprayed. And you get pepper sprayed, we'll give you $100 to make it through another day on the road. So
I quit touring.
So he does it. We got it on video. We might have to splice it into this podcast, but we have it on video. He gets pepper sprayed.
I'll do it.
Justin's already on it. It's coming in.
It's in.
Play the video, Timmy.
Let's go to the tape. No, so he gets pepper sprayed. And immediately they just dump water on him. And when they dump water on him, the pepper spray I don't know if you ever got pepper spray, but it goes down your entire body.
Oh, my God.
And just starts burning everything instead of just your face.
Well, they missed my face, so then I was cold and I was hot at the same time.
It sounds awful.
So he took the $100 and he went back to the roulette wheel.
Floridian.
He went back to the roulette wheel and lost it.
So I'm never gonna go see Matt in Vegas.
Matt, you're on your own, dude.
Bad place. The best part was walking to the Bank of America the next day, and I was just like, "Can I get a new credit card?" Like, you have an idea? I'm like, no, it was in the wallet that got stolen. No,
Yeah,
like,
really.
He's looking through slits.
Well, can you at least open your eyes? Like, no. Like Vegas, huh?
Did I not tell you the beginning of the story?
It was a good time.
Like
That was
Vegas,
a good time.
huh?
I love Vegas.
I've
love
had
it.
some crazy times. I had some gigs in Vegas. Sonic Boom 6 played with the band, and the singer was just super wild. And she was like going around all the men and like straddling them while singing. She'd go. Then it was. I've never seen a front woman like her. She was insane.
You gotta look at Amel and the Sniffers. They're one of those.
Yeah, kind of like that, I guess. Yeah, all right. So the one thing I did want to talk to you about was your MXR carbon copy because I love
gear.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
All
at
right, guys,
that.
I'm out. I'll see you guys later.
All right, so Ben loves this delay of mine. So going into Spread the Dub gear. Are we talking gear talk now?
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
So this is a delay of mine that I use. So on my board with doing the Spread the Dub and like old school reggae stuff, it's like I try to be really analog style. This has all the stuff you want from heavy delays to big womp womps that you want for like a dub sound. And then it has a really good mod mode that makes your sound so full.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned from playing with horn players and ska bands is that you really have to know where your position is
Right.
with a 7-piece band. This makes me fill out a sound when
Right.
they're there or they're not without stepping on any toes. This is my
Interesting.
go-to delay pedal as far as how many have been created. This is my favorite. I've tried them all. This is the one that fills out the most space and sound.
Yeah.
Other than that, I keep my rig simple, just some overdrives and a compressor. And a wah for
Simple. Dude, your pedal board looks like a control panel at NASA.
after the Challenger launch, like after our
Your
gigs.
shit is crazy.
Is that the one that blew up, or was it Columbia?
It took me years. It took me years to get a compressor. I only got one recently, but it's a game changer. They're really awesome.
Yeah, so it's funny, like bringing up like how much goes into like a sound with a band like Spread and then a band like the Shiners. Is like simplicity really stands out, but it's a really transferable rig because I'll use that same delay for like a slapback on country stuff.
Right.
And I'll also use a lot of tremolo and reverb in the amps to get that spaghetti western sound in my country sound that I also use in, like my reggae sound because it wasn't my findings, but I'll have to give credit to Kevin Johnson.
Right, yeah.
To show me what bands like the Agrolites were and like dirty reggae sound. And that's where I really learned that like surf and dirty grimy, like rhythm has a place in reggae and stuff. And I
Yeah,
think that
for
all
real.
derived from like, old school like special sound and stuff like that. And
Yeah. Well, I think that, that kind of country type of sound and then the reggae sound, it's all using the same gear essentially because that's what the gear was available then.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know if you ever listen to Westbound Train. They do a lot
Yeah.
of that stuff too, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
use a lot of surfy stuff in it, and that's always been my sound. My biggest influence probably nowadays, like I grew up on the classic rock, would have to be like a surfy sound, like a
Yeah.
spaghetti western.
Yeah.
That's been my go-to.
I've been doing that more and more. When I played recently with Mick, I kind of had that slapbacky type tone.
Yeah,
that's
it's fun.
kind of been where I'm at recently. Yeah, cool, man. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that pedal. I didn't even want to get into super. You should get that pedal if you like delays. World, get that pedal because it's awesome.
Thank you, MXR, for sponsoring this podcast.
I wish, right? Imagine how
I
awesome
know.
that
You
would be.
imagine how cool we'd be if we had a pedal sponsor.
Yeah. So what shows have you guys got coming up? Is there anything that we should?
We got Key West. Oh, well, on Moonshiners,
Well, Well, go ahead.
You can
with
do both.
Moonshiners.
okay. Well, first, we got Key West this weekend, so we're playing Green Parrot,
Green Parrot,
for
Key
Thanksgiving
West.
weekend.
Yes. If you ever wanted to be thankful for something, you'll be thankful you made it out of Key West.
Oh, my
after
God.
this
Friday,
weekend.
Saturday, Sunday, 7 90-minute sets over the weekend.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of fun, though.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a marathon set, but it's a lot of fun. It's always packed.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah,
That's,
man.
yeah, that's what we always say. That's our motto. We also... Moonshiners' next show is January 6th. I know, Ben, you really love that date. That's your
Oh yeah, so, that's
your holiday, right? We're playing January 6th at Irish Brigade in downtown Lake Worth as the Moonshiners. So we'll have the full 4-piece setup, and I think we play 8 to 11, something like that, or maybe 9 to 12. It's one of those. If you come around those times, we'll be playing.
We'll be there hanging out or we'll be there playing. Who knows?
We-
Yeah, we'll be at the bar.
Other than that, though, December 2nd, there's a really big show coming up with us at Matthews Brewing Company with us and Young Cassidy, other band you've had on here.
my dude.
And Billy Doom is Dead, another band you've had on here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're playing the same times we play at Irish Brigade, it would be 9 to 12:30.
Perfect. It's 9 to 12:30 then. At Irish Brigade.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite venues, actually. I've been playing there a lot solo. So I do
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
Thursdays there solo, and it's a lot of fun. I like that place.
Yeah, wicked. We just got some shows there for next year. I'm looking forward to them. Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be fun. Any other gigs we want to shout out? Or is that-
Again, December 2nd at Matthews Brewery. We're doing Friday, and then Saturday, there's a whole ton of bands playing on Saturday
yeah,
on
sick.
December 3rd.
And then Killbillies is playing.
that's-
You got anything else?
No, you're talking about December 9th, my guy.
December 9th.
December 2nd.
Cut.
December 2nd is
December
we're playing Peanut Island on a
Yeah,
barge.
December 2nd, we're not going to be at the brewery. We're going to be on an island.
December
9th, we're going to be
Matthews
playing
Brewery.
at Matthews Brewery
Yes.
with Billy Doom is Dead
Yes.
and Young Cassidy,
Yep.
bands that have been on this podcast
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Yep.
And then on the 10th, there'll be another set of great bands playing a full day of it.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yep.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, and so what's Killbillies got going on? So Killbillies has O'Shea's on Friday.
No, you're-
We're there from 9 to
This is the
1.
first.
Oh.
And then with Paddy Max from 9 to midnight this weekend. So Friday, O'Shea's. Friday's just me and James. So if you want to come and see me and James holding it down as a duo at O'Shea's from 9 to 1 on Friday. Yeah, you should do. Come and hang out with us. West Palm Beach, always a good time. And then,
Always.
Yeah.
I lived downtown for 10 years. That was a great time. Too good a time.
Totally. And then Saturday, the 25th, we're at Paddy Max, which is like our kind of, it's one of our homes away from home. We've been playing there forever, and we always have a good time at Paddy Max. So that's really it. We're the podcast is online. You can just www.561music.com. All the socials are 561 Music Podcast, and just if you want to stream it, you can stream it anywhere. You can, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, please support the podcast, like and subscribe, and stay in touch. And if you want to know anything about the local music scene, you can usually find it out here. We have a different band on every week, and if you watched it all the way through to this point, thank you very much. That's awesome. Come back, see us again soon, and thanks, guys, much appreciated.
Thank you for having us
It's
on,
always
man.
a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man.
I love
Absolutely.
working with you.
It was good.
See you
Always
later.
fast.
Peace out.